It wouldn't take that many, Wayne.
Probably get Ubers home.
It wouldn't take that many.
That's what the witch said when she jumped over the candlestick.
Oh, God.
Fireball.
Fireballs.
That's how the show starts today, folks.
The witch? Why did the witch?
No, I should say Jack.
That was
Jack jump over the candles.
Candlestick.
No, it just goes. He didn't know Jack, did he?
He didn't know Jack, but
Jack be nimble, yeah.
he had balls of fire.
Yeah.
Balls of fire.
Jerry Lee Lewis. All the fire.
They didn't make that song for nothing.
Huh?
They didn't make that song up for nothing.
Oh, I know. The witch.
Great balls of fire.
So coming back to this, we have we have basketball, which will be live from Montville, and I will be there. So it'll be amazing how all of a sudden I'll be off of this thing and get to Montville and be set up for the Montville High School game against Griswold tonight. It'll be like magic.
How are they doing? How are they looking anyway? Basketball team. How's the basketball team looking?
They're doing quite well. They're 3-0.
Good.
They look really good.
Varsity or junior varsity?
That's varsity.
Varsity.
Yeah, we don't stream. Although the junior varsity team looks stronger against junior varsity teams. I mean, Griswold's going to have a basketball program that's going to be successful for the next 4 or 5 years at least.
Cool.
So they're going to be. Are they going to be able to compete against St. Bernard's? I don't know, because St. Bernard's, they recruit and they get kids from all over the place, so it's a little bit different. But they're not in Griswold's conference.
Okay.
I mean, they're in the ECC, but they're not in their, and they're in Division One. Griswold's not in Division One.
They're a tuition school, right?
Well, I mean, they are,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about Divisions 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the ECC. So when it comes to the ECC championships, St. Bernard's, who they play on Friday, and NFA, who they play tomorrow, are not in their division. So when you get to the ECC championships, it's Division 1 and 2 against Divisions 3 and 4. And Griswold's in 3 or 4. I don't know. But they're anyway. But they look very good. They look very good. They have a cast of juniors that are obviously going to be back next year too. They're dominating. I mean, they beat the living tar out of Ledyard the other night, 81-62.
Yeah.
Which is Ledyard's usually very, very strong, and they are now. They got a kid that's like 6'8". Oh yeah, he's a big boy, and
6'8". Wow, that's tall.
yeah. And our forward, or Griswold's forward, Caden Kozlowskis, really outplayed him because he's quicker, and can shoot from anywhere.
Yeah.
So
limber. Yeah,
The tall ones tend to
You'll
be
move around.
I won't say clumsy, but
A little slower.
Yeah.
Especially at that age, and they're that tall. Usually,
well, he hasn't grown into his body yet.
that's the
Right.
thing,
So the kid from Ledyard, he's only a sophomore.
oh Jesus.
Yeah, so I mean, he's only going to get better, or he's a junior. He's only going to get better.
Yeah.
So, anyway, anybody know how to restart an oil burner?
Usually you push a button.
Oh yeah.
Is
Once.
your thermostat up?
Once. That's it.
Yeah,
You don't push that button more than one time.
yeah. So, like a dummy, I thought I had enough oil to get us to the next day, so I ordered oil yesterday to be delivered today. Well, we ran out of oil last night. And of course I'm hearing, well, if you're down to a quarter, you're empty. And I'm like, all right, do you know what I do for a living?
Not much.
Yeah, I know. You got to go ahead and. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Bam!
Jeez.
Wow.
Wham! Bam! Starting early already on the
My
show.
God.
I work 7 days a week, Paul.
Continuation from last night's show.
That's what he tells me.
Well, I got
Man, you crap on me left and right,
He
man.
jumped on you last night too.
I know. I know. I mean, what, you got something against me lately?
I think it's a
Because
New
you've
Year's
been,
resolution for Paul.
I told you.
You've been lifting up your leg and just pissing on me lately.
I told you.
And not even funny. You're just like, ugh.
I think he's got a hemorrhoid acting
Hey,
up.
that for what?
Over this last Few months they've been busting my ass.
Last 7 years.
Hey, the man's been taking a lot of guff lately, okay?
New Year's resolution for Paul. He's not laying down anymore. There you go.
No, he's not taking any more guff.
No, your mic is way up.
Ah, is it way up? Oh, sorry.
You don't have to be kissing the pickle.
No. No, I do that on my own time.
Poor Wayne. It's like, Wayne, get closer to the mic. So he gets closer to the mic. Wayne, back up. Okay, I'll back up.
Yeah, okay.
Like, what do I do?
It's a new mic.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to see another new mic after the first of the year, but yeah, we did.
You got me. Sorry.
So-
That right there, we'll see anyway.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's actually the most expensive microphone out of all the ones that are sitting here.
There you go.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's a
So you got to be right up on
$600-700
these
microphone.
pretty much, because I know when I watched the show last night, Paul.
Well, these are
Paul,
like
you need to-
$350.
yeah, you need
a
to get
piece,
up close like Mike is with that mic there, because I could barely
Yeah.
hear you last night.
Oh.
I could hear you.
but I try to tell Paul, but he did.
Yeah.
He mumbles and
Maybe you should
Oh, there
have
we
this
go
one.
again.
Get them all cranked up again. Go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah.
Oh, watch out.
Go ahead.
no. So do you know how to restart? I mean, we went ahead and come on. You're the electrician here.
Well, so just because you ran out of
You're
oil,
not even near the microphone either.
because you ran out of oil, what possibly can happen there is, yeah, you can get a purge and be good, but in the pump there's a screen. If you sucked any sludge out of the bottom of your tank, your screen in the pump's probably done. The nozzle's probably done. The electrodes are probably all sooted up. They need to be cleaned. I mean, you need somebody to come there and that's licensed and tear it apart and has the parts and can tear it apart and fix it for you. That's my guess. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have oil, so
Yeah. So the guy I actually called today, and he was able to talk me through a couple of things, but he's with his mother right now, who I don't know, a lot of us, Carol Elnicki.
I know the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carol is in the hospital right now.
Oh.
She had some sort of it was almost like a stroke, but not a stroke, but like a brain bleed. And she's in the hospital, but she's okay. And they're still going to take the tube out today and everything. So,
Wow.
but yeah.
Hope she'll be okay.
Yeah, me too. She's a real sweetheart. She's funny. She's obnoxious, and she's a wonderful person.
You like to surround yourself with a lot of obnoxious people, don't you?
Yeah. Well, her son Dominic is the one that will works on our oil burner. So then he started teaching, and then he really wasn't going to be doing much home stuff anymore. But of course, I begged him.
The one that's on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dominic Scavone.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. And he's very good at what he does.
I've talked to him a couple times, yeah.
He's very good. He knows his stuff, and like I said, he's teaching at Wyndham Tech now. So,
Oh, okay.
That's fun.
Okay.
Now you have splits now, right?
Yeah.
So you don't even.
Yeah, they just split his ass cheeks apart and took all his money out.
That's what my
Well,
that's what my bill
the
was.
thing with the splits, though, is you got to watch it.
$500.
They're not very efficient once it gets below like 15 degrees outside.
4 of them.
So
Electricity?
What are you guys good at? Efficient to about 10 below?
Oh, they're good for below, way below
Yeah.
0.
Still be
hours, you start getting below 15 degrees for hours, they're not that as efficient. So you got to watch it.
Yeah.
So
You have splits too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you guys both have EverSource?
No,
no, I have Constellation.
Okay.
But basically have a source, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we get charged by Constellation.
That's who I got. That's who I picked up on it.
Is it any different?
Yeah.
It's
We
a,
save-
Well,
we save
Constellation
some money.
is what your generation, right?
Yep.
Your generation
But you
charges.
still
rest
got
of
the
it's still
transmission
EverSource.
fees. We still pay that extra fee to pay for other people's stuff, because that's the American way.
But instead of paying 12 cents a kilowatt for your power generation, I think I got it in at 8.7, something like that.
I forget what
It's
we
in,
got
it's
it
in the
in.
eights. It was pretty cheap, and I got it for 24 months.
It was cheaper than EverSource
Sure.
at the time. So
why have more people not gone solar? Or is solar not really the way? As far as what equipment is available for home use.
Most people that I've talked to and recently in town have said there's no big savings there. One guy, he was 3 or 4 months now. He says, I haven't really seen much as far as savings go with solar because you got payments. I mean, there's still payments on the solar system.
Yeah.
it's not. I don't think it's all that.
Yeah.
I don't think JC allows you, right?
You can get it. Oh, yeah, Jewish
Jesse?
City. Jewish City. You might.
Yeah, you mumble and you're like,
You can get it in Jewish City. They said the same thing about Norwich, but there's probably 20 plus people in Norwich now that have it.
Oh,
And it's foolish because their rates are so low to begin with that the savings are very minimal.
gotcha.
But people do it because it's the green thing, you know?
I don't know. I had a guy that said, "Well, I can guarantee save you money." I'm like, "Okay."
Ask them how much.
Well, I had him come over,
Mhm.
and he wanted me to give him 6 months of my electric bills
Okay.
to figure out what my average electric cost.
I
in
had
usage
to give them
was.
12. Yeah.
Okay. So he figured it out, and he went, "Oh yeah, we can definitely save you money." I'm like, "Okay." So the system that he wanted to sell me was going to generate, I think, like 80% of the electric use in the house. Okay, so I looked at him. I said, "So what am I going to do about the other 20%?" He goes, "Well, you have to get that from, your actual provider." I said,
Mhm.
"Oh." He goes, "But you only be paying, X amount." And I'm like, "Okay, wait a minute, hold on." So what you're saying is instead of $100 a month for my, I'm just just
It's
generalizing.
easy numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to pay 20.
Yeah.
And he said, "Yes." And I went, "Okay. How much is the system?"
Mm.
Well, a system over 20 years is, it's going to cost you. And then, of course, they're playing with rebates and all this stuff. And so, of course, they balloon the system out to $50,000. And then by the time there's rebates and,
There's federal energy credits and stuff.
yeah, it's
But
down
they
to
get-
25.
They get that. That's right.
Mhm.
Right. So they're still getting full pop.
That's right.
And you're still paying like 25 or whatever. And over 20 years, your payment, mine was like $170 a
Yeah,
month.
it's about average. Yeah.
And I'm like, "You're not saving me any money."
Nothing.
You're not going to make money until you pay that contract off.
And then the
Really?
problem.
And then
is
you got
that-
to replace the cells
well,
because
the-
they only
well, at
last X
20
amount of
at
years.
20 years, they start to go this way. That's
Efficiency wise,
they met their life expectancy, and they start weakening and making less power. But here's the problem you got with these guys: they tell you that they're going to make 80% of your power, which numbers wise, yes. If like you say, if you use 1,000 and they put 800 kW, I know, right?
Just so you know, somebody's
More
beeping off
hit the
outside.
key button,
yeah.
right? If you use 1,000 kilowatts a month and they can produce, they say they're going to make 80% because they put 800
Right.
kilowatts on your roof. That's great, but you're never going to produce that 800 kilowatts. So in New England, the average percentage of solar panels giving 100% production is 20 to 25% of the time.
Yeah.
So needless to say, if they put 800 kilowatts on your roof, they're going to probably make 200 as an average. So where are you? You're still behind the 8 ball on that whole thing. You're still taking you're still taking electricity from Eversource. I had Tesla when they were still Solar City and they were selling out of Home Depot. So I had the Solar City guy come to my house, and he came in and sat down and told me the whole story, that just like you just said. And I said to him, I said, well, at the end of the month, I says, how much money are you going to save me? And she was there, pulled it up on his computer. He said, yeah, probably about $5 or $10. I says, I want all that crap on my roof for $5 or $10 a month. I says, no.
That's the problem we have.
No.
We really don't want any of that stuff on our roof.
No.
And I guess there's some deals out there. They'll replace your roof before they put the thing on.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is
If you can outright buy the system, that's the only way to do it.
right. If you can outright buy the system, and it makes it easier to sell your house too, because if you outright buy the system and you have the warranty, a lot of cases you can change.
Pay somebody to pull it off.
Right,
Whatever.
you pay somebody to pull it off, or you can sell the house and transfer the warranty or whatever over to the new owners. Because my wife's dealt with that stuff,
Of course.
and if there's contracts outstanding on that, it makes it harder to sell.
They'll
the
walk
house.
away.
And
I saw one house in Norwich. They wanted $26,000 to pull it off a house, and the people are like, "We're not paying for that." I mean, it's
Yeah.
And the guy that owned the house, he certainly didn't want to pay for it. So, needless to say, they walked away.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, no.
and not to mention the fact, like you said, after the shelf life of the solar panels are
Mhm.
gone,
They
if people
start-
understand that the toxic
start to go
chemicals,
the other way. Yep. And
all these panels are made of toxic chemicals. What are they going to do
they're
with that
hazardous
stuff?
material. Yeah.
Hmm.
I know one
So-
guy that bought his system. He worked for the Board of Ed in town where I worked, And I think at the end of the day, it cost him out of pocket back then. I don't know, it was like $8,500. And he put way more panels because, see, the solar companies, they don't want you to overproduce because they don't make money either.
Mm.
So he bought what he wanted. He put it in. He had it done the whole night, and he owned it. And he figured that in 3 to 3.5 years, it would be paid back. And I know it was pretty close to that number. From that point forward, he overproduces every month. Eversource pays him at the end of the year. Every year, they pay him.
Yeah.
So that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, but who the hell's got $25,000, $40,000,
Exactly.
$50,000
Exactly.
to buy it?
Exactly.
We do, Paul. Lash's Luxury, Malin's Millions, Canova's Cash.
Yeah.
Mike's bankruptcy.
So, yeah, there you go. No, it's right. You're right. It's it's an investment, but if you're not going to make money on it for 15, 20 years, it's
Why
like,
do it?
why? We're in our 60s. You're 80 something.
Mm.
You're ever going to see anything? I'm not going to see anything. I'll probably slobber in my wheelchair.
Getting pushed down the road
Yeah,
by
you
Paul.
push down the road.
Paul will be pushing Wayne down the road in a wheelchair.
So it's
Yeah,
supposed.
get an electric one.
So the panels are supposed to last like 20 years.
Well, that's they'll last more than that. It's just that's where they're like done making peak power. They start to go this way, as far as what they can produce. So they're still good. I mean, you probably get 10 more years out of them, but they will start eventually, probably around year 25 or so, you will start losing panels.
Oh, it's the same thing with the windmills they're throwing out there too, and the sound and everything, the salt water and the materials don't last very long.
How can it?
Yeah, so it's like,
So what's the answer?
what's the answer? Well, that's part of the quandary we have is that they need to build more base plants to put more power on the grid, and with the more loading you need, the more upgrades you need to make on the grid to be able to support all that power. So
You just start making new plants again.
government's going to have to start subsidizing. That's what a lot of other countries are doing, because private companies can't afford to be building nuclear power plants.
No.
Become way too expensive because of all the regulations and all the requirements. And really, we don't have the American companies that used to make that stuff that we had 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
And you got to have the water available, the cooling water.
yeah, well, there's plenty of that around, but still, you gotta be able to build the units.
Yeah.
And the smart thing to do is like France, they basically found one design, and then they built a lot of their plants with that one design instead of all these different designs requiring different kinds of setups. And then if one plant has a problem, all the other companies and plants can share resources, share whatever inventory they have to fix other plants. So that's what they have to be looking at.
So according to Forbes magazine, I'll just read this out to you. It says, although the federal tax credit and additional rebates or incentives can lessen the expense, the cost of solar panels can be significant. However, considering that they are designed to last for multiple decades, solar panels can more than pay for themselves. That's according to Forbes.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing your research for the sustainable energy source, it's important to factor in how long your solar panels typically last. The industry standard for most solar panels, 25 to 30 years. Most reputable manufacturers offer production warranties for 25 years or more. The average break point for solar panel energy savings occurs 6 to 10 years after installation. If the panels continue to produce at a high level for another 15 years after that, then you'll end up saving thousands of dollars during the solar panel's lifespan. I don't get that.
But are they basing it on you have no payments on your system?
Mm-hmm.
Because
I
if you have
think
payments,
so.
it's going to eat it up.
Yeah.
And in New England, like I said, 20 to 25% of the time is when you're going to get peak because of the angle of the sun. I mean, we're up here and the sun's down here. Florida, they're probably 90% all day long
Florida,
every day.
California,
Yeah,
all the
California,
Sunshine
everybody
States. Yeah, that's probably a
Closer to
good
the
place.
equator, or the more power you're going to produce.
Yep.
It's all about the angle to the sun.
Unless you get them to move. Some people put them on
Yeah.
the ground. Then they,
Right. Well, yeah, but you're still
I know.
the angle because of the curve of the earth. You're not going to change that.
So there are the panels that we got a neighbor in our neighborhood's got one of those that changes its angle.
That's a big one.
Yeah,
that thing's huge.
that was a huge panel, but they had problems with that.
Mhm.
He's had to have it replaced and worked on a lot but that thing changes and follows the direction of the sun,
Right.
changes the angle, try to get the most efficient,
Mhm.
use of the sun's rays and all that stuff. So,
Oh, well.
and
I don't know.
everybody's worried about, it's going to cost billions to build new plants or whatever, or,
Mhm.
but spending billions on a bunch of other crap that's not really helping us out.
So let's say you get a 25-year note on your solar panels.
Yeah.
After 25 years, you're just going to do it again. So where are your savings?
And you know it's going to be higher second time around.
Yeah. And then, of course, the guy told me, he goes, well, you're going to be upgrading the value of your home.
No.
And I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of a depreciatory.
Well, the other thing is, unless you find somebody that really
Asset.
loves solar, there's some people that don't.
If you go to sell the house, you got to find
Yeah,
somebody
you
that
got
wants
somebody that wants solar. Some people don't want to have it. So,
yeah.
so you limit the customer base, right, for the house.
Mhm. I don't know.
And it's heavy. Up on the roof is a lot of weight.
Paul, now you have a lot of split units in your house.
Yes.
So, and you just, divulged how much you spent last month.
This month was
This month.
This month.
So,
Normally it's like 2 to 3, but that's all electricity, everything, not just the splits.
Yeah.
It's the house.
what's your cost for electricity without the splits?
During summer, probably 125, 130.
All right.
During the summer.
And you
Okay.
run your splits for cooling men too.
Yeah.
All right. So do you feel like you're getting a value?
Well, I did it because the price of oil at
Mm.
the time. Don't forget, oil is still up there like 3 something, right?
Yeah, it's going to go up too.
It's going to go up again. So that's the reason why I did it.
Yeah. The last time we bought oil was $1.97. And then
Huh?
yesterday it was, it
Wow.
was last year.
$1.97? Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, no, $2.87. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Whoa,
It
whoa,
seemed
whoa, whoa.
awful cheap.
Yeah, that was 1984.
I say if you got oil from that price, it's coal now.
That's why his furnace isn't running.
You're right.
That's why it's not. There you go. We figured it out. But yesterday it was 303.
I use propane. I've been pretty regular with, I think for the last 2 years at like $2.40 a gallon.
Yeah.
But even that, it depends on the cycle, right? Between natural gas, propane, and oil,
Yeah.
it's all cycles based
Yeah,
on,
well.
the prices of everything.
Look, everything's
So,
really
because I remember 20 years ago, nuclear power is like they were saying nuclear power is the thing of the past. Natural gas is now the cheap way to go, and building natural gas plants, all that stuff. And all of a sudden, that took off.
The school went natural
price-wise.
gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they got dual boilers now. They can go either oil or natural
Okay, we
gas.
had 'em-
depending
Well, they
on-
had to replace it anyway
Right.
because those were over 30 years and they had to
Yeah.
take them out anyway. So
So now they got
dual fuel.
So now they're either way, whichever is cheaper to run.
Remember
that's what they can go
when
with.
Millstone was being built? They said electricity was going to be so cheap you won't even need an electric meter on your house. Remember that?
Unfortunately, it's got to be sent down the lines, and that's where you run into all the other fees. and
Well,
everything.
unless,
So
unless somebody's carrying it with a bucket and
Yeah.
dumping it in your house, I mean, electricity flows. It doesn't matter.
So what is the stopping of the progression of nuclear?
cost,
Energy.
Cost.
it's cost.
So they were talking about it's going to be cheaper, and now it's not.
No,
It's-
cost of building plants.
Cost of
Oh,
building
oh, oh.
plants,
Oh,
new
look at the
plants.
infrastructure in our own town. Look how much that went up.
Look, they
Explain.
got Millstone 1 is shut down.
Big
They-
time.
that's been put to bed.
And that's the thing. They were originally designed for 40 years.
Mhm.
So a lot of them are getting life extensions, but they're not going to run forever. So we need to have a Department of Energy in our government that's going to start looking forward. And I know there's things like small modular reactors and things like that they're talking about putting in place. And I didn't even know Millstone was talking about that. But that requires a cost up front before
Yeah,
they start
yeah,
making power, and then they can, because they're not in it just to throw money away. They're in it. They're a business, right?
Yep.
So they're going to make a profit. So
I know when I worked for Northeast Utilities, they owned Millstone 1, 2, and 3.
and see why.
Yeah, and CY.
Yep.
Exactly. And I think they were part of something that went up in New Hampshire too.
Seabrook.
Seabrook, yeah.
And all the money that the company made went to
Paul, I can hardly hear you.
holy.
Well, no, just you know what you're doing. You're sitting way back like this, and you're talking. So, but if you come up like this,
The,
you can hear you.
The all the money the company made went to those plants. Yeah,
I don't want all of it, probably 75% of
the
it.
majority of it.
The majority of it went to
Yeah.
those plants because at the time they were making a lot of money off those plants.
Yeah.
So, what's the way to go?
I don't know. I'm too freaking old. I don't really care what it
Okay. Well, Paul, thanks for coming.
So the thing about nuclear plants, right? There's a lot of people that are against nuclear plants because they're afraid of the Chernobyl thing. Nuclear pants.
Nuclear pants.
With your nuclear pickle. But anyway.
Nobody knows about the pickle anymore, Wayne.
Anyway.
Nobody knows.
Nuclear plants are green energy because it doesn't affect the environment, right?
Pickles are green.
So pickles are green.
Paul's got a red one though.
I got a red one.
I don't want to know about Paul's. Never mind. That's a red hot.
Yeah.
So
Paul's pickle pirate.
they got. We need to stop worrying about. The thing is without electricity in any country,
Yeah.
that's basically the blood flow of the country, right? You need to have electricity. Everybody needs to have electricity.
So what you're saying is they got it figured out, and
wait.
They don't have it figured out. They got to
The
figure
Amish
it out.
don't have electric, and they seem to do pretty well, don't they?
what's that?
The Amish people don't have electricity, and they do pretty well.
No.
Huh?
Well, yeah, they do. Yeah,
They survive.
yeah. A lot of candles.
But,
Yeah.
but the average citizen couldn't survive like the Amish.
Little house on the prairie.
First, they lose power for 2 days and they're all going through
5
the roof.
minutes and they're crying.
Right,
Are you
Yeah.
kidding
crying
me?
like a bunch
Oh
of
my God.
babies.
Yeah, boiler shuts down for 5 minutes. Oh my God!
I got no heat.
How do I turn my heat on?
I'm not crying. I just
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
He's
You know.
freezing his butt off in his house. The
No,
coldest
I
day
kinda
in the
like-
winter.
I have some electric heaters. I mean, we can
Yeah.
compensate with that. The only thing is the hot water.
Yeah.
We don't have any hot water right now.
Well, they used to cold shoulder anyway. Right?
Cold shoulder? Yeah.
Cold shower.
Yeah.
Imagine what that does to your pickle.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Ice cold water.
I really need to know if you're sexually frustrated.
No, I'm not.
Because everything's about a pickle with you.
Shrinkage.
Shrinkage and everything is a penis joke lately.
That wasn't a penis joke. He was
Pickle.
talking about a pickle. What the hell is the difference?
You're so full of shit. You know it, and I know it.
If your
You know
pe-
what he's talking
Does that
about.
look like
If
a-
your penis has pimples like that on it, you got problems.
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Big problems. Go see a doctor.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah. You've been someplace you shouldn't have been.
Anyway.
Be baking bread.
Yeah, so the energy thing in this country really needs to be taken seriously because these plants aren't going to last forever.
No.
They haven't built only a couple new nuclear plants lately in the last 10 years.
Not around here.
Not around here. They've shut them down more than they built.
Because there was a lot of protests back then. A lot of people were bitching.
Mm.
Yeah, they were so afraid of
Nuclear power.
Yeah,
You know.
that's why they put the
Getting
sirens on.
radiated, yeah.
That's why the sirens are all around
Yep.
25-mile radius or something. So that if something happens, sirens go off.
Mm.
Yeah, well,
Was it the one in China several years ago?
Yeah.
Chernobyl,
Yeah.
Japan.
1 Mile Island, a 3 Mile Island.
Fukushima in Japan.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that was. They didn't. So here, you didn't expect to have a big subterranean earthquake that would cause a huge wave to take out your nuclear power plants and your diesel generators that are underground. No, we all look like, why would you put your electrical systems underground next to an ocean?
They actually built an infrastructure around Chernobyl.
Yeah,
It's actually enclosed now with a big infrastructure.
yeah, it was sarcophagus they call it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Does anybody have the idea what we do though? What is the solution?
you see a lot of talk
Well-
on TV about building plants, but how are you going to pay for it?
Mm.
That's why they're talking about the government needs to step in, like a lot of other countries around the world are
He
doing.
wants batteries.
Huh?
The present administration wanted you to get rid of your stove because it was ran on gas. Get rid of your lawnmower because it ran on gas.
Some states and cities, I think, have banned them from being
California.
used
California.
in new construction. You're
California.
absolutely right.
California's
No more gas stoves, no more nothing. Yeah,
gas cars, and I think what is it, 25?
because
35?
the carbon monoxide that they produce is causing problems. Listen, I worked on tons of them things. They do produce a slight amount of carbon monoxide, but it dissipates as soon as it goes up. It's gone. It doesn't accumulate.
I don't know. I'd be a little nervous parking a battery operated car in my garage.
I would never own one. Doesn't matter.
No, I wouldn't have straight electric. I'd go with a hybrid.
Yeah.
If you're going to go with something, go with a hybrid. Because up here, as cold as it is right now, good luck. The efficiency of the battery.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So there you
I
go.
don't know. I don't know what to do. It seems like as soon as they talk about the latest and the greatest, then somebody's already knocking it down.
Well, it's the battery thing. Let's talk about the battery cars. I mean, even then, you have to change the batteries out. You know, can they reconstitute the batteries? And even then, the chemicals that are coming from that are toxic. So where are you putting all that stuff?
Plus, a lot of the batteries.
Was it Prop 65 in California?
I'm not sure.
It's requiring all electric vehicles
Yeah.
by 2035 or
I think
2030.
no
Yeah, something.
internal combustion, like lawnmowers, everything. They wanted all battery out there.
My battery powered lawnmower sucks.
And they have
Batteries die.
They have one nuclear plant left running in California. They wanted to shut that down. It provides 8% of their power.
Oh, yeah.
And then they ran into that one summer. I think it was like 2 years ago that all their hydro plants were shut down because they didn't have a lot of water. And they were telling people not to charge their vehicles. They didn't have enough power on the grid to charge their vehicles.
They do rolling
So-
blackouts in the summertime because they don't have
Yeah,
enough power to
so-
begin with, and you want to
so
start
it-
plugging in cars and trucks.
So it's like, okay,
Well, that's what you got to look forward to.
Well, I think we should talk to our latest retiree, who probably has all the answers
Probably.
and needs a cause right now. Cheryl Canova, who's in between Paul and Rich right now, just sitting there. What do you think we should do, Cheryl? You got plenty to say at Crankies.
Never at Crankies.
I put you on the spot. You don't have to talk. I was
Thank
just.
you.
I'm sorry.
I might get my clothes, Paul.
I just, I don't know. I just wanted to integrate her somehow.
yeah, introduce her. Yeah, very good.
Congratulations on your retirement.
Next time you
Thank
won't
you.
shut her up, I promise.
That's okay. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing around here.
Oh, you still talk.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Wishful thinking on this part.
Who? Me?
But you could retire.
I don't want to retire. I really
We don't
honestly
want you in
don't.
our group anyway.
Believe me, I know. I know.
Paulie doesn't want to be
So-
with us either, so it doesn't
That's
matter.
fair.
That is not true. I just don't invite myself. You know, when you got the Malins, the Lewises, and the Wasseliks all doing their thing these days, you know, they're recruiting new people and stuff like that.
Oh, that was
Then the people that are available, they don't want. So
that was a
Do you ever think it might be you?
Republican get together down.
you're
in
being
the-
an asshole. You really are. You really are. Jesus, Paul.
They couldn't hear me anyway.
God, I'm sorry. Your only friends are cats.
Whoa.
Thank God your wife brought him home. Please, somebody. Mew.
Yeah, this will keep you occupied.
Yeah, you and your split units.
12
Look
furry
at 'em,
little
look at 'em.
assholes running around the house.
One big
No,
litter
they're all in
box.
the bed. I left. They're all in the bed.
No,
And like the,
Yeah, I'm
the
saying,
human
yeah.
bed or the cat
Yeah,
bed?
where the hell are they?
How many litter
Fucking
boxes
bed.
you got in your house?
How many?
How many? Yeah.
I think it's 12.
Holy.
litter boxes?
Little boxes? No, I think there's 4.
Oh, 4. Okay.
Yeah, that's where Paul craps.
12 cats, 4 litter boxes.
They got to be kids' swimming pools. I got 3 of them for 6 cats.
No, they're big.
Oh, okay.
We have 2 of them for 2
Yeah, she
cats.
did them yesterday. She walked them all out.
Yeah.
Use them.
I do
She's
that.
real good about that, isn't
Oh,
she?
yeah.
She's
You know, the bad thing about that freaking litter is it weighs a freaking ton coming in,
Mm.
and it weighs twice as much going out.
We have
I wonder why.
You got to scoop it every day. You got to
yeah.
scoop the crap out
Sometimes
of it. but-
twice.
no pun intended.
No.
We got this litter now that we got at Petco. It looks like little sticks,
Oh, really?
and it's really good. And there's no smell.
Hmm.
There's no fake perfumey smell.
Yeah.
nothing. It's just nothing.
They say that pretty litter, that's supposed to be pretty good too. It lasts. You can get like 2 months out of that stuff, but it's pricey. You know, it's
Yeah.
like I'll stick to the other stuff.
Yeah. Oh well. That's the way it goes.
So, what else is going on, Paul? Anything new besides cats and litter boxes and
$500
not enough electricity on the
bills,
grid,
yeah.
and you know?
Yeah.
Tell us about the neighborhood app that you're on.
Oh, yeah. It's called what's it called? The Neighbor. Yeah. It's
You sent me a
I sent you guys
invite.
a
Yeah,
link.
yeah.
Um,
I jumped into it today.
oh, did you?
Mhm.
Yeah. There's a lot of.
I mean, I didn't really get a chance to look around much, but
Yeah. I mean, it's
next door.
Next door.
Next door?
Yeah.
It covers everywhere. People down in Norwich and here and
Wow.
everywhere.
Really?
Called Next door.
It must be
Is
a
it-
redheaded stepchild.
Oh,
I
that
didn't
like
get
social
it.
media stuff,
I
things
put
like
that-
that.
It's an app, yeah.
I
You
sent it
probably
there.
trashed it.
No.
I sent it there.
And what do you talk about?
It's not exactly accurate though, because I'm looking at an ad from a place called The Parking Spot,
That's-
and it says save big on Jewett City Airport parking.
yeah, it's-
That's on Facebook. They have a ton of stuff on Facebook doing the same thing. Jewett City.
Jewett City Airport parking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's the airport that they're building out on Bickgood,
Wow.
along with the helipad. Yeah,
You got
Yes.
something that's going in 164 that we don't know about?
yeah, the Jewett City Hospital. Yeah, the Jewett City Hospital and Medical Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going out there where that restaurant used to be. What is it?
Oh,
Stotts.
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 No, I'm 138. I'm sorry.
138
What is that restaurant that lasted for a while?
across
Oh,
from the cemetery there.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them actually.
oh, Hannah's.
Hannah's,
Market.
yeah.
There's
Market.
a couple of them.
Which wasn't bad. It was, very,
good. I
very
ate there
good.
a couple
Yeah.
times. Yep.
But they closed, and that's too bad because
That's pretty good.
why don't we all just go in on that and buy it and do it?
He didn't have enough customers. Or did he-
No.
No, it wasn't a matter
It
of that.
wasn't that.
It was more of a
No, what we-
domestic issue,
Yeah,
We
wasn't
could do
it? Yeah.
that. We could hire a bunch of illegal immigrants, go in there, and they can do all the work.
And we can have Daryl manage it.
Maximum profit, low cost, right?
We'll pay Daryl $13 under the table, see how he
Yeah.
likes it.
We can have a special area for pickles.
For flavored pickles.
Yeah.
We
Pickled
should
eggs.
we should all put of course millions, but and then Canova Cash. And then
Mm.
Paul and I will just sit back and watch.
Paul's Pennies, right?
Paul's pennies.
Yeah.
It was good though. I ate there a couple times. That place was
It was
good.
good. Yeah, probably cost you $100,000 to open.
Yeah,
it.
put a Mexican restaurant in there. We don't have a Mexican restaurant. So there you go.
I just think I think a deli bakery would be.
Deli Bakery.
Well,
You
you
got-
kind of got breaking bread out there, right?
Yeah.
Right across the street.
Yeah. And
I mean, they're not really a deli. They do sandwiches and soups and other baked goods. They're not a deli per se, but
Mhm.
that place was a deli. You could go in there and
Still have a
buy
bakery.
yeah,
meat and cheese.
a bakery would be great if we knew anybody that could bake.
I know. That could be a good place for a bakery. Plenty of parking.
That's
plenty
a,
of places to sit.
I think it's probably all set up for it too. I mean, I think it's got the hood and everything that you
I
might
think
need.
they did it all there to begin with,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
they put a lot of money in it.
yeah, they did. I remember going to the meetings at the town hall when they were trying to get approval for that. They had a good plan in place. There was no doubt
Yeah.
about it. Just too bad it ended the way it did.
Yeah, I mean, I went in there and got the tuna salad sandwich one day, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was really, really sad to kind of see them go. But since the real happy about the Jewett City Airport parking that's going in there. So
You laugh when the airport was open out there. That's where you had to park for the airport, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
there was a burger place here called Wimpy's.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yep.
They were pretty good until they started putting
Do you know
out
why
raw
it was
burgers.
called Wimpy's? Do you know where?
Well, I went in there and tried to pay them tomorrow for a burger today.
Today. Yeah.
Well,
No, I do not.
Wimpy's. Don't forget. Remember the story of Popeye?
Yeah.
And who was the guy that ate the hamburger?
Wimpy, that's what I just said.
That's what I just said. That's what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. You push your mumble if I can hear you.
I should have brought a black coffee in.
Talking to your microphone. Talking to your microphone, will you, Mike?
Yeah, talk to the microphone.
I'm almost swallowing it. My God.
Don't say that.
I almost need to take that spray to go ahead and numb my throat because I'm right up on it.
Mm-hmm. Okie dokie.
So I've heard about that stuff. But, Paul.
Turn my hearing aids on.
Yeah, well, that might be a good start.
What might be a good start?
Your hearing aids, turn them up. Turn them up. Yeah.
They're up.
Yeah, hey Paul, let me turn it up for you.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Just went from PG to PG-13.
Yeah. We're actually live right now, but it's just going to be.
Yep.
It's going to be replayed at 5:30, like as our normal show. So really, if you're watching it now, you're getting the
Preview.
preview of it all.
Okay.
Do you remember this social media app that was, or a social media page on Facebook that was out there called the Patchogue Recorder?
Oh yeah.
Who did that?
I don't know.
To this day,
That stopped, right? It was
did.
weird. It was crazy. I don't know who did that.
all of a sudden it was over.
Over.
What was it?
But it was hilarious.
He doesn't do Facebook, so
It was kind of a parody. It was just somebody making jokes about everything, but it confused some people too. And I got a big kick out of it. I mean, all I know is that one day they started talking about on Bitgood Road. That's kind of where I got the joke. The new Jewett City helipad over by the Jewett City Hospital, the Grizzle Hospital that they're building on Bitgood. And whoever did this group put in there, if you have any questions, call Jewett with the Grizzled Center for Media and put my phone number in.
oh Jesus.
So whoever it was knew me.
Yeah.
And I started,
Like you.
I started, no, because I messaged the page and I said, I don't know who you are, but this is hilarious. And then we had a conversation back, and it was friendly and stuff.
I'm surprised of all people you did not know who it was.
I have no idea. I had an idea, but the person that I thought just up and up denied it, and I still am
Not
curious.
sure, but
Still not sure. But it was you, wasn't it, Canoa?
no.
Was that Phil Flowers? Hi, Phil Flowers.
He's a creeper. He's only like a midnight guy.
Not Phil Flowers.
Mm.
I'm gonna be moving. Hail to the king.
Hail to the king. I was waiting for him to bring that up.
No.
There you go.
No, but it was really kind of funny, and
It was.
But I got
remember
calls.
it. I remember it. Yep.
I got calls, and I'm like, the first call I got, I was like, "Who's this?"
Mm.
And they told me who it was, and I just happened to know the person that was calling, and I said, "What are you talking about?"
What are you talking about, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, on the Patchogue Recorder, I guess you're like the head of the Grizzled Media Center now, and I'm like, "What?"
The grizzled what?
This guy was making stuff up
Yeah.
that people were buying
Yep.
into.
Yep.
We've done the same thing.
Yeah.
Like the manure factory. Were you familiar with that at all?
No.
All right, so this is when we were over on 2 North Main,
Okay.
and I said to Paul, let's just come up with some bullshit and see what happens. So he says, all right, how about a manure factory? Okay. So we kind of went with it. It was going to be on Norman Road.
Oh, Jesus.
People were complaining about the smell. And they were going to be, I don't forget what they were going to be using it for, but they were.
Yeah, we're going to sell it. It's going to be bagged.
Bagged, yeah.
Bags
Oh,
of
that's
manure.
right. That's
Kind of
right.
like Earthgrow was.
For gardening.
Lebanon,
Yeah,
right?
and they're going to be
Yeah.
bringing it in from all over the
Tractor
place,
trailers full, yep.
and dumping it. And people are like, what? Well, what?
How did that get through?
Yeah.
Who approved that?
Well, it's
only
private
bad on-
business. You don't
it's
need
only
to
bad on a
approve
windy
it.
day, depending on which way the wind blows.
You got a farm. Guess what? It's part of being a farmer.
Don't need approval. They don't even know we did it.
It's
How
all
long did we?
natural. That's all.
Noah factory.
How long did we? It was chicken shit.
With chicken shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was chicken shit.
How long did we keep that
we
going?
got it going for about a week or two. But it was chicken shit. Because that smells really good.
Oh, it's terrible.
And people were wondering, what are you talking about? And it's like,
Mm.
well, I mean, this can't happen. Why? It's
Chicken
private
shit
business.
brings flies and oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can imagine the fear.
And they were going to be bringing it in from like Ohio.
Yeah.
because they couldn't manufacture enough chicken shit right here,
Mm.
so they had to have it brought in.
Right.
Ohio. Well, there's a lot of chicken shit in Ohio, I guess. I don't know.
We should start another one. On 164, they build something. What could we build?
I don't know. You guys have any ideas?
Yeah, we could build something there.
Wayne's got an idea. Don't even. You
No,
better don't reference a frickin' pickle, dude. Nope.
I mean,
Let's just say he wants to go into competition with
Right now, we
Heinz.
can't build
Heinz.
crap in there. Okay, right now. So I'd like to see something get built. Anything get built in there right now. So
how do you know we can't build anything in there?
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Let's get started about Heritage River. and all
They're
that.
done.
Yeah.
Over. El Fini.
Yeah.
That's been pretty much confirmed. Yeah.
That was done before it started.
Yeah, EDC last meeting I went to, and these guys were there because they were on
Mhm.
the board. But it was not a lot of good information on that. Not a lot of good news.
No,
So it's still up in the air.
What I can't understand is
I don't think so.
is this was like the easiest puzzle in the world to figure out, and people were still going, "Yeah, we're going to do it."
Your first clue would have been, when did this start and how long has it been, and nothing happened.
8 years.
8 years with nothing but chatter, chit chat, nothing, and then all of a sudden, listen, you knew back then they didn't have any money.
Paul, we started talking about it when you first joined the show, and that was a long time ago.
No,
And all we heard, I guess, during all that time was, the town's got to build the infrastructure. So
Yeah,
now the town's
yeah.
building the infrastructure, and now
And then the data
they've got
centers were
nothing.
going to put the infrastructure in if they were going to come into town because they didn't want to wait for it.
Yeah.
Right. And I literally looked right at the people from Heritage River. And I said, oh, so basically you're waiting for somebody to do it for you so you don't have to pay for it.
Exactly.
I said that exact, almost verbatim. Were you with me that night? At a meeting. Oh, yeah. The guy said, yeah.
That's what we got in the first meeting during the summer when we
Senior
started having
center,
the public meetings. The first
Yep.
one I went to, it was like they had no answers.
Mhm.
They were waiting for
They had nothing.
people to support monetarily.
Yeah.
Like the YMCA and some of the other stuff. They were looking for outside resources and the town to
YMCA.
support it. And one of the people asked, I said, "Do you know what kind of area you're putting this into?
Mm.
It's not like it's Mystic or Groton or these richer towns that be able to soak some money into this. This is like
The YMCA was
distressed
just a
area,
pawn.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The YMCA was just a pawn in that whole game.
Yes, it was.
They had no skin
They
in
were.
that game either. They had no money.
The YMCA?
Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't know.
No.
They
They didn't know.
They
He's
just didn't
absolutely
know.
right.
they got
She had
used. They got
no
used for
clue.
that last SIF grant application.
I think there were several people I think were insulted by the way they talked to us that first meeting.
Yeah.
And thought
Yeah.
they were going to throw the the wool over our eyes and all this.
They
other
thought we
crap.
were stupid.
They thought we were going to walk in there like a bunch of
That's why I just did the
yeah. So
a second ago.
bunch of bumpkins walking in there and not asking a bunch of smart questions.
You could go read up on them. They did a development like that up in New Hampshire, and you read the different stories that are out there. I forget what town it was in, but yeah, it was the same thing up there. They did get it done. I don't know how, but they did get it done
They
up
got
there.
grants.
And
And what did they do? They put low income housing.
the people in that town absolutely voted it down. Did not want it, but they still did it anyway.
Well, that's the thing. I know there's a lot of people are crazy about affordable housing and things like that, low income housing, what do you want to call it? Keywords, tricky
Listen,
phrases.
Section E's been around for years.
Politically correct and all that crap, which is behind us now.
Of course.
But call it what it is. Apparently, it's been done in several areas of the state that if somebody wants to put something in there, and the state's going to say, "Yep, you're going to do it. Go ahead, do it." No matter what the town wants to do, right?
It doesn't
we're
matter if
below
it's private
10%,
land. It's private land.
If
They
we're
can do
below
what
the
they want.
required 10%, if they buy the land, say, "Yep, you can put affordable housing in there," no matter what the town wants, whether it's going to impact emergency services or the school or the town in any way, they don't care. We have
Town
to deal
didn't
with
want me to do this. I threw up the birds.
Yeah.
Said, ha ha!
it. We have to deal with it. So
No, they didn't.
yeah,
It's not happening.
no, that's
We
not
knew
happening.
that for a long time. And
That's not happening, but
like-
I'm afraid what might happen is that the last thing I heard was that they're talking to somebody in New Haven.
They're out.
They're out now.
They're out.
They're out. So
Doing what?
Glendower. It's a company called Glendower. They specialize in getting money to do the low income housing developments. And there was something with them, I believe they were looking for a request from the selectmen to be brought into this, and the selectmen didn't do it.
Didn't
And
do it.
they said, see you later. So they're out.
They're out.
There's nothing happening there.
Is that what we want?
No.
Do we want
Obvious-
low income housing?
Obviously not.
Okay.
We don't. Why would we waste? We just spent all that money going down that corridor.
Yeah.
Do we really want to put low income housing? We're not going to get any money
Yeah,
back.
we're looking for some kind of a tax revenue to come back to the
Because
town.
of course,
and-
they get tax breaks too, right?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. They were asked at one of the meetings about the tax abatements and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. And if you look at our tax abatement ordinance, they're allowed to
10% a year or
get
something like that, right?
90%, and then it's 10% peels off 10% a
yeah.
year. So for the first 7 or 8 years, the town's not going to see much
Right.
from that, right? So
You talking about over a 10-year?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so yeah,
I don't know. I still think though that after when the infrastructure is done, it's going to be like a domino effect. I think the land will get used.
I think it all depends on what
Yeah.
the land's going to sell for. That's the other challenge
Look
that the
at
town
the-
has.
The piece that's for sale up there right now. That guy's charging. He wants way too much money.
Yeah, so everybody's looking for the golden ticket down that road,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to be the next challenge. Somebody that's business minded has a business plan, and how's it going to impact their profits? Is it going to be worth it for them to pay 2-3 times the property value? So somebody's happily walking away with all this chunk of money they're dreaming of getting.
Well, it's been talked about too that the Great Wolf Lodge is going to create a lot of extra traffic through there that would,
And it will.
help meet those demands. Yeah,
It will, and it probably will bump up the property value
the values
a little bit. But you're right. You're talking about the golden ticket, and it's like,
But the thing is, these people are paying taxes on land that's assessed for a certain value,
yeah. Well,
right? So if they want to sell it for, if it's worth $1 million, you get assessed for it now. And
supply and demand.
they want $3 million, then let's assess it for $3 million.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I mean, I understand what you're talking about, but you can't really do that
But-
because it's supply and demand, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's only worth something. Your land
What
is
you're willing to
only
pay for it.
worth,
Yep,
or anything is really only worth what
right.
you're willing to pay for it.
Yeah, I
You know,
think that's going to be the challenge of bringing businesses.
I
along
can
that
say
road.
this coffee cup right here is $400, and I want $400 for it.
Yep.
But if nobody pays $400 for this cup, is it worth $400? Just because I said that I want $400 for it?
Yeah.
So
people-
if somebody wants $4 million or $3 million for a plot of land over there, that's okay. You can ask whatever you want. But does that mean that's what it's worth?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
we
one,
know what it's worth, but it's going to sit there. And it's going to sit there.
the one that's for sale right now, right next door to the Petromax. I think the price tag on that is 1.3.
You're talking about flag?
Yeah, on the right hand side.
Yeah.
1.3.
He's looking at something though. He's thinking about putting something in there.
Yeah, he's talked about an RV store. He's talked about used cars.
Restaurant.
He supposedly had Johnny Rockets or
Johnny
somebody
Rockets.
was
Johnny
interested.
Rockets, yeah.
He was talking to
Yeah.
them, but listen, there's nothing. I mean, at the last EDC meeting, it was brought up, and there's absolutely no activity on that property at all right now.
And it's a shame because
Well-
during the summer it was told, actually during one of the meetings, that there were some other interests in the properties along the road.
Well, we don't
But-
know that.
You don't know
everything-
that, but it was-
because everything is being held to the
Those
press.
meetings are held in
Yeah.
private,
Now,
No,
they
right.
can only tell us that there's some interest. They can't tell us
and they
any
don't tell you
details,
that,
right?
They don't even tell you.
Until there's some contract agreed upon.
Yeah. But they didn't even tell you there's any interest.
Right.
Everything is held right here,
Yeah.
man.
Well, it's kind of like, all right, so let's take the truck market, the 4-wheel drive, 3/4 ton truck.
Yeah.
When do those get sold? Predominantly. When's the big truck market really kind of reach its height of the year? Fall,
I would say fall, winter, yeah.
winter, right? So the infrastructure, with it being done, what do you think? When do you think people are really going to go look at land? Spring,
Spring.
summer.
In spring, summer.
So right now, I don't think we can realize anything out of that. I think you're going to start to see people more creeping out summertime, looking at that land to say, okay, because now it's viable. You know,
They're
it's
gonna wanna
viable.
They're going to want to know when both the water and the sewers are
Right,
done,
right.
Really.
But what I'm saying is now it's not viable right now. So people are they're going to wait for that.
But-
They may throw feelers out.
But the other thing, it's still going to take time for them to go through all the planning and zoning and all that crap, all those processes, and by the
It's a
time they
stroke
get
of
all
the
that
pen.
done,
I mean, that stuff can get done pretty quick if they need to.
But is
nothing gets done quick these
No, it
days.
could.
But I'm saying,
How bad does a town want it?
Listen, and let's say, unless you want to take a chance on losing it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, it could, but it still takes some time. And right now,
Yes, you're
it's
right.
projected they're going to be done with the water by the end of next year, right? Or it's summertime.
Summer.
so
Right.
even though it's not done, are we pushing that land out?
We should be throwing it out there
Should
now.
be getting
Are
marketed.
we doing that?
There should be notices out.
That's
or,
right. Are we doing that?
You know,
I don't know. You're part of the EDC. You tell me.
I can't tell you because I
Why?
don't know.
Yeah. No, we don't know.
no, he doesn't know because
It's a secret.
the people that know can't divulge anything.
It's a secret.
So that was pretty much said at the last EDC.
Mhm.
Well, you know, it's no secret. Nobody's doing anything over there. That's no
Well,
secret.
not right now because it's winter.
No, I'm right, and that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that, like, even this past summer,
Yeah.
why wasn't it marketed then?
And,
Throw
you know,
pictures up there, throw some mock-ups of what it could
Right.
be, you know, and
and the whole water tank, that's not even a part of that problem right now.
bring
because
Zares back.
Huh?
Zares. I love
Zares.
Yeah, Zares, right? But
Ames.
The water tank.
Outdoors.
The water tank was only for
Roses.
fire suppression for Heritage River.
Yeah.
So if somebody goes in there that doesn't need fire suppression,
Gimbals.
like a restaurant or something like that, I mean, it could certainly happen. Why isn't it happening? Water and sewer are there before you get into the part of the sewer
We're
where
not
you
being
need that pump
told.
There's
station.
more for your life at Sears.
Yeah,
See, that's-
Sears still
Sears
exists.
is
You want to buy
gone.
Craftsman stuff, you go
They-
to
they-
Lowe's.
No, but Sears is still it's still around, you know. They have like 9 or 10 stores.
Do they really?
So does JCPenney.
Yeah.
They got
Well, like
killed
I
by the
always
big
say,
box stores and
They
online.
don't tell us anything. They're not going to tell us anything
No.
because it's just the way they operate here.
No.
It's the way we always did it. That's the way we're going to continue to do it. Why should I tell you? I'll tell you when I know something.
Yep.
Okay, that's-
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm getting hungry. It's lunchtime.
You getting what?
Getting hungry. It's lunchtime. I haven't eaten lunch.
All right,
yet.
well, bye.
So I'm gonna be
anyway,
taking off. So I'm going to be taking off. So I got to meet somebody for lunch.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you who either.
Might be the Lewises.
Could be.
So we'll see you tomorrow.
Could be the Malins.
We'll see you tomorrow.
It could be Mary Beth.
It is. There you go.
Well, I would definitely believe that would be worth it. So, but we don't get involved because we don't get invited. You know, it's just
Going to Rubino's for lunch.
yeah, well, good for you.
We'll see you later.
See ya.
All right,
Bye.
goodbye. Mary Bethy's coming. Bye, pickle guy. Get your hand off your pickle.
It's his pickle.
Poor Wayne.
Oh yeah.
He's such a cool guy. He gets beat up in here.
Doesn't take much to spin him up either.
No, I know. That's the funny part.
Yeah.
I think if he didn't get so riled or ramped, I wouldn't bug him. But he does. Once he cools it off a little bit, it's like, you notice that? Then I just stop.
And then it's all right back up. Right back up there.
All he knows is pickles. That's all he knows. All right, let's get the hell out of here anyway.
Yeah.
He's got to go. So our high school basketball up next, coming up at 7:00 on most of this same radio station. 7:00, Grizzled and Montville. That's coming up now at 7:00. Well, in about a half hour. So keep it here on SNSN. Thank you, Rich, for coming in,
No problem.
and Paul and Cheryl. Once again, congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to have a couple of shows coming up. Let's see. We got Psychic Thursday coming up. We got more basketball tomorrow, more basketball Friday. We've even got a guy coming in talking about solar coming up next week sometime.
Uh-oh.
So that would be a Yahoo blast. So have a good day, everyone. And we'll see you at the basketball court in about a half hour.